Hey, amazing builders! RobotDiva here, ready to illuminate the exciting world of circuits. Understanding how circuits work is the foundation for all sorts of amazing electronic creations. By the end, you'll know what a circuit is, the tools you need to build one, and how to get started building safely. A circuit is simply a closed path that electricity can travel through. Imagine it like a racetrack for tiny particles called electrons. It always needs a power source, components to do something useful, and conductors to connect everything. Think of it like water in a pipe. If there's a break, the flow stops. Same with electricity. Every circuit, no matter how big or small, has four key parts: a power source, conductors, a load, and a control element. Once you understand these, you can start building just about anything. The power source is what gives your circuit energy. A common example is a battery, which has a positive plus and a negative minus terminal. That's where the electricity begins. Next, we need a way to move that energy around. That's the job of conductors, usually wires made of metal. They're like the roads electricity travels on, connecting all the parts of the circuit together. Then comes the load. This is the component that uses the energy. For example, an LED, a light-emitting diode. It is a type of load that lights up when electricity flows through it. LEDs have two legs. The longer leg is the positive side, called the anode, and the shorter leg is the negative side, called the cathode. Finally, we need a way to decide when electricity flows. That's where the control element comes in, usually a switch. A switch opens and closes the circuit, letting us turn things on and off. Now, you might be wondering about your LED circuit you built earlier and asking, what about resistors? In that circuit, the resistors are special components that act like traffic controllers. They limit how much current flows, protecting the load, basically making sure your LED doesn't burn out. So, to sum it up, power source sends energy. Conductors move energy. Load uses energy, and control element decides when energy flows. Once you understand these four pieces, you can start designing circuits of your own. Circuits can be wired in series or parallel. In a series circuit, there's only one path. Components are connected one after the other in a single loop. If one component fails or the connection breaks, the entire circuit stops working. In a parallel circuit, each component has its own path and are connected along separate paths, branching off from the power source. This means that if one component in a parallel circuit fails, the others on different branches can often continue to work. We'll explore these in more detail in future videos. Now that we know how to build a circuit, let's learn how to read a circuit diagram. Think of this as the secret map that electrical engineers use to draw their designs. Instead of drawing a picture of every component, they use simple symbols. For a battery, we use a long line and a short line. The long line is always the positive side. A resistor is drawn with a zigzag line. For our LED, we use a triangle with a line and two small arrows pointing away from it to show that it gives off light. And finally, a switch is shown as a line that can be broken or connected. It might look a little confusing at first, but with practice, you'll be able to look at a diagram and instantly know exactly how to build the circuit. Once you learn this language, you can follow circuit building instructions. This is a powerful skill that will let you build almost anything. Before we start building more circuits, let's take a look at some essential tools that will make things much easier. First up, we have a breadboard. This fantastic tool allows us to build temporary circuits without needing to solder anything. It has a grid of holes that are internally connected in specific ways, letting us easily plug in our components and wires. Next, you'll need jumper wires. These are simply short wires with conductive ends that we use to make connections between different points on the breadboard and our components. They come in all sorts of colors and lengths, which can help keep your circuits organized. A very handy tool to have is a multimeter. This device can measure different electrical properties like voltage, current, and resistance. It's super useful for checking if your circuit is working as expected and for troubleshooting any issues. Finally, you'll need wire strippers. These are used to carefully remove the plastic insulation from the ends of your wires so that the bare metal can make a good electrical connection. They often have different sized notches to work with various thicknesses of wire. Having these basic tools will set you up for successful circuit building. A breadboard makes circuit building easy. This is your playground for building circuits. The power rails are the long columns on the sides, usually marked with red and blue lines. All the holes in the red column are connected, and all the holes in the blue column are connected. We'll use these to supply power and ground to our whole circuit. The main part of the breadboard has many short rows. All the holes in each of these short rows are connected horizontally. This is where you'll place your components like LEDs and resistors. There's also a gap right down the middle, which is perfect for placing a chip or a larger component, so the connections on one side don't accidentally touch the connections on the other. Knowing how the board is wired helps you place and connect components correctly. Awesome work, circuit builders! You've now learned the basics of what a circuit is and how to build a simple one. The best way to really understand circuits is to keep experimenting. Try expanding the LED circuit you built in our earlier video, Arduino for Beginners. Remember, every great inventor started with these fundamental steps. Head over to steamdivas.com and our RobotDiva playlist for more circuit building challenges and inspiration. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more electrifying adventures